Grand Rising Tribe, welcome back. For you, for those of you that don't know, my name is Mr. Hall, spiritual healer, master, leader, founder, author. Check out my new book in the link tree in my bio. But ultimately, there is no name for what I am yet, as our language is still evolving. Excuse me. So, definitely releasing. If you are familiar with the term spiritual burp in certain spiritual circles and spiritual communities, that is understood. You may do some research on that. But I am back because I'd like to get a reading out for the collective tribe. Thank you so much. I see that we're growing. Welcome to everybody that's new here. I'm glad that things are aligning for you. You do remember that you are your own best judge, leader, and insight, okay? And I hope to help you develop this inner knowing, something that has been scratched and or taken from our society. Now, moving forward, if you've looked at my previous readings or check the confirmations and quick confirmations as far as insights on the shorts, then you know that whenever I post, it is a channeled message, okay? May not make sense in the moment, will make sense later on, as time is fluid, right? As we, in this channel, operate outside of time, the standard Gregorian calendar and or in relation to specific constructs, okay, as we are redefining and reconstructing foundations. So a few things started to come to me as I began to channel and speak to you all. So that energy cleansing, the spiritual purge is what I'm picking up on, the purge, okay? I believe that is a film that was made somewhere, and what I'm picking up is definitely getting into symbolic language, things that are said symbolically, unspoken word, okay? I'm picking up. And being able, our ability collectively to be able to recognize patterns, okay? This is something that I'm picking up. Something significant about the SWAT team, but not in the terms of, if you are in America, there is a part of the government and or so something definitely coming up. Something definitely coming up with in and relation to government bodies and entities. Okay, this may be physical and or non-physical energies and frequencies. Okay, I want to start off with the psychic tarot. So something coming up creatively and or energies around you coming up with creative ways for you to exhibit your spiritual strength. Okay, something complete here, some type of completion of a cycle, a complete understanding of where you are in context to the universe. Okay, this is what I see as soon as I split the deck. And 21 breaking down into a 3, you want to look into numerology and the definitions and meanings in numbers commonly used throughout our society and history, especially in America, also within indigenous cultures, also even in other parts of the world, okay? But your spiritual, you're showing your spiritual, essentially, you are showing your spiritual strength to the world, okay? This is something that's coming up. A completion into an infinite so a completion into an infinite identifier. So something that is crossing the thresholds between what we know as conventional reality and what is of becoming, on the precipice, on the cutting edge. I'm picking up Abraham Hicks energy. You may want to look into that individual as well, just to further grasp and widen the perception of your current realities, okay? Let me check and make sure. So something about confirming that you're able to reflect back what it is that you are intending. Okay, so I'm picking up almost like a review. Life, what I pick up is that moment right before death and or after, where you have this life review and you're checking in with specific energies, entities, and where your soul's progress has led you, what you've learned, what you're integrating. Okay, so I'm not picking up a physical or literal death. I'm picking up a rebirth to understanding, a rebirth to consciousness, a rebirth to being. Okay, this is what I'm picking up, especially with the spiritual strength and the universe. Okay, spirit, let's. Okay, wow, that was fast. All right. So, in the recent past, you yourself have either shown some authority or come up against authority. We'll clarify shortly. All right, so that's the Emperor energy. Okay, so strong Aries energy as well. And royalty. So some type of royalty with this gold and purple. But it seems that you are defining yourself as royalty either through your own methods, through ancestral methods, through interdimensional methods, and or this is just what is protecting you because the knowledge that you hold, right? As you see that this crown, this crown is on his head, right? But also around his entire aura, okay? And there is no gender in tarot, so this is just the masculine energy holding a crown, holding space, okay? Yeah. Okay. So, in relation to the recent past and this crowning energy, this aura, authoritative energy, this stepping into your power energy, your willpower energy, I'm picking up that you face your shadow, right? You're bringing this balance and union to your shadow, okay? With, as you see, two the same individual, one light, one dark, okay? Both holding this staff, okay? And meeting in the center. So this divine masculine, divine feminine balanced energy, okay, where we're no longer looking in dualistic terms at reality. We are now merging in ourselves this dualistic nature and it's being reflected back to us. And this is a huge shift for where society and reality has been the past 100 or plus years, right? So a lot of transitionary fluid energy, okay? And this is giving space to creation, to creativity, to birth and reconstruct and relay foundational work that has been out of balance. Those of us with spiritual eyes to see, right, have been able to pick this up for a while now, and it's actually now manifesting into the 3D. So I'm picking up growing pains as well. With this black bordering, okay, around both of these cards, it's showing me that you're stepping into the unknown and stepping into power in a way that cannot be completely seen. Only I'm picking up not only seen but felt, okay? Where you need to step into a space of feeling your way through energies and frequencies, right? And for some reason, I'm picking up also to mention the way that technology has been evolving, the way that AI, artificial intelligence, and or rather algorithmic intelligence has been playing a major role and will be playing a major role and factor into the near future, which is the now future, right? And how to implement that into the financial and material changes that are in the current position of the tarot that are coming up now. So this patience and planning, and again, the pattern recognition again with in the recent past, there was this absence, this void, okay? You stepping into the void, taking your power back, becoming this inner power, this inner strength, okay? And now we're in this root chakra energy, so coming from the universal energy and regrounding currently into planning and patience and planning surrounding material, financial and material changes, okay? So we're creating this pillar, okay, of balance, structure. If you, the best way that I'm picking up to say this and communicate it in language would be, picture the empire falling and an empire being rebuilt in its place, but not so much falling and crumbling, just being restructured chromatically, chromosome energetically is what I'm picking up, okay? And you have, I'm also picking up ley lines for the hands, okay? If you have heard of the term palmistry in certain traditions. Another book that I'm also picking up is 101 Ways to See Yourself, right? Us as a human species are picking up new ways to see ourselves. And this is being brought about as well through the language of technology, the existence and birthing of a remembrance of technology. Okay. So this is leading to new types of financial and material changes being possible for the world, everyone at a whole. Okay, so I'm definitely tapping into that. And 5 representing change as well. 7, right? So spiritual alignment. So foundationally, reality is spiritually realigning. This is what I'm picking up. Okay? And it's leading to the near future for those of us that are here in this space of consciousness and awareness. We are leaning towards a place of recognition and reward. So this does not have to be external of yourself as far as seeking validation, but more so a recognition and reward simultaneously happening to you, in you, for you, because you are recognizing yourself outside of just this physical body. You are recognizing your energetic bodies. You are recognizing your mental body. You are recognizing your auric fields. You are recognizing the interconnectedness of all things that are unseen, similar to the way that air, oxygen, is present on our earth and is something that majority of individuals that exist today, as we know there are more than standard deviation of what we define as human beings, and you are stepping into a place of divine royalty. I'm also picking up spiritual royalty. I'm also picking up sovereignty. I'm also picking up inner authority. So these very strong characteristics of leadership are being exemplified through your vessel. This is the best way for me to put it. Okay? Tao. You're being endowed with spiritual knowledge that translates very well into the physical planes, physical realms, 3D realms, and you are being guided to create, okay, these new structures and foundations, okay, that you will also be able to reap the benefits of and enjoy at it. Okay, at it and with. Okay, that may be significant for someone. Okay, you will be able to enjoy at the time and in time. Okay. Okay. So infinite wisdom is available to you at any time for you to enjoy in time. Okay, despite any perceived external chaos happening, because even if we look in this card of the current situation, there's so many colors, so many patterns right here going on in this planning phase, okay, or patience and planning phase. Is there's so many different paths to take, so many different changes. You have the hand that's been segmented and split, okay, and fractured, and it can feel like a lot, okay, but you are reminded to stay within your grounded energy. And also, so no, yes and no, essentially this and that are true, and okay, are statements that are evolving into our language and understanding as we are simultaneously in multiple places at once. As above, so below is the terminology I'm picking up. So terminating this limited and linear perspective of being, okay, in one place right? We are expanding and understanding that I am physically, perfect example to give you an image, to give you the imagery and metaphor in a clearer pathway. So I'm physically in my room right now. However, you are connecting to me through whatever device and pathway you have on the internet with the means to see me, right? Because I would not be quote unquote existing if you were not able to see me. However, I do exist, okay? It is a matter of if you are able to see me, okay? And in what ways are you able to see me depend on what ways you are able to grasp perception, language, being, and remove the shadow, the blocks, the limits to your mind, okay, to really step into this power of authority to be able to access. That was very that was very channeled there, okay? So hopefully you got it. If you didn't get it, remember this message is very broad for the collective in many timelines, many dimensions. We operate outside of times in this channel, okay? Oh, okay. So I digress very quickly. In the recent past, you addressed your shadow, integrated it. You are now in authority, divine sovereignty. You are now in a stage of patience, planning for these financial changes and material changes, okay? This is spiritually aligned, this change. In the recent past, it was a beginning of abundance because you've integrated the shadow, right? It's not all love and light. It's not all good and evil. It is what you are of what is in being. And the perceptions or the blocks around the access that you've had to yourself have been removed, okay? Because you've integrated your shadow and you understand what needs to get done will get done. What you need to allow will need to be allowed, okay? It's a divine balance of a new beginning of abundance and prosperity into authority, into this ultimately near future. Future is now recognition and reward. So you recognizing yourself, you being recognized outside of yourself, you recognizing that you are part and interconnectedly a part of all things, okay? All right. Yeah, you're releasing this heartache and loss energy, okay? You're releasing this isolation energy. You're releasing this need to be in any form of suffering as you have learned the lessons of suffering and you have suffered enough, okay? That's the energy I'm picking up there. And you have now crossed over these obstacles and challenges, okay? And you've been supported, if you look in the image, these orbs of energy, spirit, extraterrestrial energies, interdimensional, releasing, yeah. Interdimensional energies, okay? You're releasing these perceived obstacles and challenges that are being bombarded upon you, projected upon you consistently within standard operations of society. And with this success and triumph, I'm picking up that these obstacles and challenges did not succeed in keeping you in your shadow. I'm also picking up that you are gaining perspective and separating yourself from this win or lose attitude and understanding that being is the gift in this lifetime. This first lifetime for many. So for example, this is all of our first times being alive, essentially, majority of individuals. If you have more sacred knowledge, if you have more inner knowing, there are layers to this. However, for the majority, this is the first time and experience being alive in this lifetime. You can't get it right, you can't get it done. Essentially, there's no win or lose. There is simply being. And the gift is being able to recognize that in being, you are. Okay? So the first, number one, being significant. The first. There's no pathway. There is no definitive answer of yes or no. What works today may not work tomorrow. What worked yesterday may not work in the future. Okay? Fluidity, changing, okay? Awareness, consciousness, adaptability, things that are coming to mind. Okay? So this energy of being stuck or trapped or in a loop has shifted, okay? You have freed yourself and now the light is shining upon you. You are seeing the light and love and graciousness and power within yourself, okay? So I will use the Hermetic Tarot as well. Check this one out. Yeah. So spoiled for choice, as at the bottom of the deck, we have the Seven of Pentacles, okay? So this is definitely leaning towards the earthly realm, financial matters, practical matters, business matters, okay? So it seems that spoiled for choice. It's almost as though I'm picking up from this energy today that there's some type of corruption or disruption, okay? And now this doesn't have to be a negative connotation, right? It's a disruption, breakdown, within systems, okay? That's currently what we're all possibly recognizing within the collective, okay? These systems are breaking down and nature is correcting, okay? As we see the pentacles, these circular objects, okay? There's so much symbolism happening here, but what I'm picking up today from this card is these coins, okay? These pathways, all these options are being transformed through nature, through reality, through of what is, okay? we can lean towards any of the divine energies that exist, okay, whatever you would consider your divine, as we focus on omniism here. So taking bits and pieces from every religion and idea of consciousness, okay. So whatever you would identify as your divine and your sacred is making changes into all of these systems around the world. We can look at these as continents, we can look at these as, right, frequencies, timelines, dimensions, right? Moving from cash to cryptocurrency, moving from coin to dollar bills, right? These shifts that happen generationally and even more. And heavy Taurus energy here, the number 7 may be here as well. Okay, some Saturnic energy, so Saturn, okay? You may want to look into the spiritual symbolism of all of these signs astrologically, okay? Yeah. So some action that has been taking place for years, centuries, decades is no longer able to move forward with the King of Wands reverse, Prince of the Chariot of Fire. So something that was really burning individuals, burning souls, burning energies, taking life force is no longer able to move forward. Okay? But I will shuffle the deck. Yeah, because now we have intelligent thoughts, we have higher dimensional thought and frequencies coming through with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so you see this star, this appointed star, this proverbial star being and guiding its way on a Pegasus. Okay, it appears to be an angel in the card, however you can also see it as a Pegasus, and the triumphant energy of knowledge, okay, the triumphant energy of transmission and communication, overtaking this need for a previous King of Wands energy, which would be in the shadow aspects, attempting to reign over dimensions, times, okay? This is what I'm picking up. A lot of root energy. So there may have been some type of root work done generationally, throughout the world. Some type of root work and foundational groundwork that was done to really have the current empire be in authority, and that is changing now. Okay, that's what I picked up. Let's do a quick shuffle. Okay, and this is being changed through the collective increase in intelligence. Let's date back. I'll give you an image